Do you believe that land can be cursed? Well, let me tell you the story of the witch's den, and maybe you will think twice about where you decide to walk. Back in 1563 was the start of the witch trials in Essex. Around 291 people were accused of witchcraft, of which 129 were convicted. 74 were hanged and at least 36 died in prison. One of the people convicted was Agnes Waterhouse. She confessed to bewitching a neighbour, causing livestock harm, and using a family cat named Sathan, which was said to perform evil acts. Legend has it that many of the convicted witches' bodies were buried in a mass grave right here in this spot called the Witch's Den, and the land is said to be cursed. There is a story that echoes around the village for many years of a man named Jack, who was walking back from his local pub one evening alone back in 1947. He staggered across the Witch's Den and through a small woodland that led him towards the lane back to his home. Jack was a cruel man with many skeletons in his closet. When he arrived home late that evening, he shouts for his wife to come downstairs and make him supper. She was sleeping and didn't hear him at first. Jack was not a patient man, so he ran up the stairs, still with the mud on his boots, and grabbed his wife by her hair and dragged her out of bed and downstairs into the kitchen. "I told you to get downstairs," he shouts, before smacking her so hard across the face that she falls backwards, hitting the back of the door with a thud and causing the glass window to crack. She puts her hand to her mouth and spits blood along with a tooth that Jack had knocked out with such force. "Make me some food. I'm hungry." He drags the heavy stool from the kitchen counter before sitting down. His wife said nothing. She washes the blood from her hands and puts her tooth in the bin, and with her hands shaking and holding back the tears, she makes Jack his supper. After Jack had finished his food, he told his wife to clean the mud from his boots before taking himself off to bed to sleep it off. She picks his boots up and begins to scrub them clean. Whilst alone, she hears a faint whisper that says, "Sathan." She quickly turns around to see that no one was standing behind her. "Sathan," she said quietly. "Who's Sathan?" The whispers had stopped and the boots were clean. Still wet, she puts them down by the back door. The morning came round and Jack was slightly groggy from the night before. He went into the kitchen. He didn't need to ask twice for his breakfast to be made. His wife was already boiling the eggs, and the tea with 2 sugars, slightly milky, was sitting on the kitchen counter, ready for him to drink. He looks over at the back door. "You can pay for the glass to be replaced on Monday," he said. His wife said nothing. The wind outside began to pick up, and the clouds began to bubble. A storm was brewing. Jack sits down and takes a mouthful of tea. And out of nowhere, a crow launches itself and hits into the back door, breaking its neck and falling onto the pavement outside. They both jumped, and Jack chokes on his tea for a moment. "What the fuck was that?" he shouts, looking outside and seeing the crows twitching by the door. Before he had a chance to look up, hundreds of crows circled outside and nosedived straight towards the back door, splitting the glass even further. Blood mixed with rainwater drips down the glass window. Before long, their bodies lay on top of one another. Most dead, but some still beating their wings for just a few moments longer. "What the hell is going on?" shouts Jack, looking straight at his wife. "I have no idea," she said, looking as shocked as he did. "Who the fuck is that woman standing in the garden?" His wife walks over to the window and looks over at her. The woman whispers, "Sathan, where are you, Sathan?" His wife recalls the whispers in the kitchen the night before. "Get out of my garden," shouts Jack, looking straight over at her. She just stands there, not moving in the rain. This infuriates Jack. He hates being ignored, especially by women. Jack jumps from his chair and runs towards the back door, but he slips on the wet floor where his boots had been left to dry, impaling himself through the throat with a single blade of glass. The woman just watches him before calling the name Sathan one more time, and out crawls a little black cat under the bodies of crows. Jack bled to death, and the woman and the cat disappeared, never to be seen again. And legend has it that this was Agnes Waterhouse, and anyone who walks on the soil from the witch's den will either be cursed or cured, depending on what skeletons lie in your closet.